25 that ended in June 30th of this same year. We have the details.
Uganda Airlines had snubbed today's invitation to appear before the Committee on Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises to respond to audit findings for the financial year ended 30th June 2025.
This committee.
The Auditor General's report noted concerns of increased debts in the airline, where the Auditor General observed a $1.7 million that was attracted as penalties on aviation fuel.
No document, no justification, no proof, and these are observations by the Auditor General.
The report also indicates poor financial performance to a tune of 1.9 trillion government investments to revamp the airline and streamline its operations.
Meaning the government injected 1.984 trillion, but only 200 million is recognized. Meaning it's a critical area for us as a committee to investigate.
Their failure to appear before the committee raised concerns before the committee members.
The chairman, this entity has been a problem on the committee. Every time when we invite the entity, through you and your former colleagues, the entity creates those avenues. They are not here.
The purpose of them not turning up, it's two-way. Either they intended because they had no information to prove to us.
So it is critical to let them know that we are not harassing them, but we want to make their business run well.
The committee has now summoned the current Chief Executive Officer of the airline, the Chief Accounting Officer, Manager Corporate Affairs to assist the committee on the audit findings.
We want to have the two Chief Executive Officers, the current and the former Chief Executive Officer. And specifically, we want, and ours is to enforce the attendance, to assist the committee in interrogating the observations by the Auditor General. So they should bring any document within their reach.
The Speaker of Parliament last week informed the House how every entity is to attend to committees and provide answers to audit findings.
I would like to remind all accounting officers that it's their constitutional obligation to be accountable to the citizens of this country through Parliament, where they are represented.
The committee has scheduled Thursday this week for further engagements with Uganda Airlines top management officials. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
The Parliamentary Committee on Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, that is COSASE, still has cross-examined officials from the Uganda Human Rights Commission over case management, bypassing financial controls and expenditure at the Commission. The committee chaired by Mwada Nkunyenyi discovered paying funds of Commission activities to personal accounts. We have the details from Parliament.
Officials from the Uganda Human Rights Commission have appeared before the Parliamentary Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises to respond to audit findings for the financial year ended 30th June 2025. The audit report pinned Uganda Human Rights Commission of mismanagement. The management kept on paying activity funds to personal accounts, contrary to the Public Finance Management Act.
But you concede that money was paid on your account?
In the office of the chairperson for activities of the office of the chairperson, and that information is on the statement.
The same report indicates how Uganda Human Rights Commission has a stakeholders fund which allocates 1.2 million shillings sitting allowance to each commissioner and 5 million shillings to the chairperson. This raised concerns in the committee, where members questioned the commissioners of inconsistencies in the figures.
That commissioners are given fuel of 800,000 per month, that is less than 30,000 per day. And we are expected to work every day. And given the capacity of the vehicles that we are given by the commission, they consume 50,000 per day. So the approved fuel is less than 30,000. So we decided to 30,000 to and fro. So we decided that when we sit, we can get the allowance so that we put more fuel to help us do the commission work.
The committee discovered how in the commission, the director complaints, investigations and legal services dismissed some cases without consent from the commission. This raised concerns in the committee, questioning Pauline Nansamba on who authorized her.
Considered, I have said I take responsibility for the decision to close every case which was closed ever since I took oath as a chairperson.
Leave alone the closure. Are you also taking responsibility of any wrong procedure used?
I do take that responsibility, Mr. Chairman.
Issues concerning procurement were also raised, where the commission pinned some of its commissioners of acquiring items meant for the commission and using them at personal level.
People always come back to claim that they may be tarnished my name. If you are stating on somebody who has that generator, mention the name so that we can know.
Tomorrow, this generator should be taken away from my home residence. Yeah. Latest tomorrow, because it involves some disconnection. Yeah.
The committee presented some members of the commission to CID for investigations in reference to transactions made on personal accounts.
I want to request that Ms. Ndori Nabate and Ms. Pauline Nansamba goes to our CID and make a statement in reference to the transaction and the money received on behalf of the chairperson.
Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
City businessman Amos Nzei and the National Social Security Fund have agreed to amicably settle the 18-year-old land dispute in Temangalo, Wakiso district. Nzei and NSSF were also appearing before COSASE in Parliament.
I cannot even be partners with international reputable bodies. But because of that, I had to come and clear my name.
For 18 years, the Temangalo land scandal has been overwhelmingly identified with the city tycoon Amos Nzei, with no hopes of coming to an end.
You choose whatever you want, I will do it, but I want to clear my name. Temangalo has been on me for many years. And it's not worth it. Even if they said they wanted it for free, I would have given it.
The wrangles originate from the fact that the National Social Security Fund purchased 463.87 acres of land from Amos Nzei in 2008, including Plot 12, which accommodates the vendor's home and farm. Efforts by the NSSF to claim the land in whole has since hit a dead end, despite several legal redresses. The two parties have both appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, which is scrutinizing the matter, having been part of the audited queries in the Auditor General's report for financial year 2024-2025.
12 is part of the sale agreement.
No, it was not. It was not. If you look at the Memorandum of Understanding,
No,
it
no,
was not.
we have two documents. We have a sale agreement, we have an MOU. But in the sale agreement, there is Plot 12.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Just proceed.
Sale agreement, there is no Plot 12.
It is there. It is there.
But then reversed by the tribunal and also MOU.
Despite the advanced investigations pinning businessman Amos Nzei on continuous settlement on the land that he sold off to NSSF, the two parties have agreed to let the matter rest.
Dr. Nzei will transfer the 10 acres of land to the fund. The 45-acre balance, we've agreed that he will pay for them using the market rates as determined by both the chief government valuer and private valuation.
I'm offering the fund what they have requested me to offer. They said the 10 acres, we liked it, give it to us. I have agreed that I will sign, I will transfer the 10 acres to the fund.
Now the remaining...
Then 40... the 45, I said, value it at current price. I'm not saying that I return your money, no. Current price, you get a government valuer, you get even another independent, I also have mine. then we will meet at a figure which I will pay.
By the look of things, NSSF will be offloading an elephant off its shoulders. Kosase, chaired by Chadondo East MP Mwadanku Nyinji, agreed with the status quo, but with aching questions.
But you have accepted that you are ready to pay for 45. Now, who owns the 45?
The question here is one. Did you sell the land? If you sold the land, what prevented you to hand over that land to NSSF for occupancy in that period of almost 18 years?
So there's a point where you make a business decision. It is in the interest of the fund that we lay this matter down. Then we continue with our development.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Now in court, audios and videos allegedly showing Dr. Kizza Besigye and Joel Wakaima discussing plans to overthrow government and attack President Museveni have been presented before the High Court Criminal Division.
In the absence of Dr. Kizza Besigye, trial judge Emmanuel Baguma is presiding over a case in which Haji Obed Lutale and Captain Ola Oya are facing charges of treason and misprision of treason. Prosecution witness number 1, American investigator Andrew Wilson Orlando, continued his testimony explaining how various digital devices were allegedly used to record communications and videos involving Dr. Besigye and Joel Wakaima.
I had to put everything together into one long video for it, 1, to make sense, and 2, so I could send it back.
Among the devices presented in court were a digital watch, audio recording equipment, a power bank, digital charger, and a hard drive.
A hard drive, which I provided. I needed to put together all the separate video clips because the cameras only record in 10-minute segments. 10 minutes, the audio maybe an hour segments.
Wilson Orlando told court that he and another individual identified as Moses allegedly used the devices to record meetings involving Dr. Besigye and Joel Wakaima in Geneva, Switzerland, Greece, Nairobi, Kenya, and Uganda.
Last communications, and I spoke with him. He seems apologetic and asked me to connect him with the investor. As from my conversation with him, he was considering standing witness.
The gadgets were presented before court for identification and were subsequently tendered in court. Court also watched and listened to some of the videos and audio recordings allegedly captured using the digital devices. These videos showed Besigye and Joel Wakaima discussing with witness Andrew Wilson Orlando. After hearing the submissions from both sides, Justice Emmanuel Baguma adjourned the case to tomorrow, 25th August 2026, when the hearing will resume. The accused Haj Obed Lutale and Captain Ola Oya were further remanded to Luzira government prison.
Government's crackdown on taxis operating in dangerous mechanical conditions has begun today across the Greater Kampala Metropolitan. The operation follows a directive by Minister of Works and Transport, Fred Byamukama.
Last week, the government warned taxi owners whose vehicles were in dangerous mechanical conditions and failed to meet traffic regulations against putting them back on the road. The warning was reiterated by Works and Transport Minister Fred Byamukama, who set Monday this week as the start of the government's 100-day crackdown.
In Greater Kampala and the surrounding areas for the first phase, we have already had a meeting with Uganda Police. We have agreed with effect from Monday. With effect from Monday, all these Ganya taxis should not be seen around Kampala.
By Monday morning, it appeared that taxi drivers and owners whose vehicles were in poor mechanical condition had largely complied with the government's warning and the directive to remove vehicles that do not meet the required safety standards from the road. None of the vehicles targeted by the crackdown were seen operating on the roads. The crackdown has also affected commuters traveling from their homes to work.
Ensonga y'okuyimiriza taxi ene tuyisiza bubi bino by'okugala taxi bayi taxi mbunkadde baziyimirize fine kirungi naye ate nga government olina okubeera ne strategy bw'oyimiriza taxi enkadde bw'oleesa eki kubanga tukuva ku makya tuyimiridde wano tuwale kitambula.
12 zinsanze nga ntuuka wano zizino zigenda kuwera ssaawa 3 nga nyimiridde wano naye nga taxi etuukawo kati etandise okusaba mu kibuga omutwalo bakugamba taxi z'abanaku baazigobye balesewo taxi z'abagagga ate ffe tuli banaku tuli abantu ba wansi.
Along different routes, on various roads, the operations seemed intensified amid complaints.
Balisose ne batugambako nti bannanga abatakisi embeera egenda okubeerawo bweti ne bweti n'abakaga nabo ne babeerako ne bakimanyi naye abasajja batusuddemu ekintu nga tetulina kye tumanyi wadde n'ekimu.
Ebbanga lya myezi 2 ekitegeera abantu basobole okubanga basobola okukola ebintu byabwe nga biri bulungi bamanye nti tekibaguddeeko.
In some areas, passengers were left stranded, with many having no option but to resort to motorcycles to reach their destinations.
Ebya taxi yadde bitukozesa ensobi tebalina indicator taxi mpundu tebalina mataala batukozesa ensobi basooke babawumuze fenga baboda naffe tukolekoleko.
Simanyi ababoda babera nga babagamba ebidduka ebikadde okubigoba nga bo tebakifaako naye nganzi owa boda siyinza kusanyuka kuba nange ndi mugoba wa biki wa kidduka. Leero bayinza okugamba bagoba taxi enkadde kyali bagamba tugoba wa boda talina permit.
Along Salama and Chibuye, taxis remained parked as people walked on foot to places of work. However, many owners chose to park their vehicles at home, while others were seen at garages, with the rest remaining in different taxi parks.
Nteekateeka eno emmotoka zaffe enkadde kati nganze eyange leero esigadde mu parking abantu bali kukuba babonabonera ku kkubo tetulina busobozi bugenda kusooka kukola mmotoka zaffe kudda ku yaliyongeddeyoko ne twongerayoko ebbanga ne tusooka tweteekateeka obulungi.
Kati mukama wange mwekanyiriradde mu parking ansaba ssente ez'olwaliro abatabimanyi naye kati gavumenti etuyambe esooke tuweyo ebbanga ettono tutereeze mmotoka zaffe.
In both the old and the new taxi parks, the situation was tense, with uncertainty among drivers and operators for many people. Police warn that the operations and enforcement will continue.
Do not wait for police to find the defect. Inspect and maintain your vehicle before putting it on the road. The responsibility for putting a roadworthy vehicle on the road begins with the owner and then the operator.
This is not the first time the government has issued warnings over traffic violations, but this latest crackdown could signal a significant shift in how traffic regulations and enforcement are handled. Cayenne Faith and Ivan Juko reporting for UBC in Kampala.
Investigations into the murder of 2 children in Bonga by their biological mother are ongoing. Police say the mother is responding to treatment after surviving an attempted suicide.
Police have recorded a statement from Namayo Dorothy, aged 43, in connection with the murder of 2 of her children in Kalungu, Bonga, Kampala. On 20th August, Dorothy allegedly caused death of her 2 children and injured 3 others who were hospitalized. Police say Dorothy was found injured at the scene after an unsuccessful attempt to take her own life and was taken to hospital for treatment.
And is reported to be in a stable and improving condition.
Dorothy has informed the police that her heinous act was triggered by a series of domestic violence incidents
between herself and her husband.
Police have obtained CCTV footage and other exhibits to support the ongoing investigations.
We recorded statements from neighbors and first responders who were at the scene following the incident.
At the time of the incident, the father to the children was not home.
2 of the victims, a 13-year-old and 10-year-old, were discharged from Mulago Hospital. Another victim remains admitted at Mulago Hospital and is receiving treatment.
Now, 2 bodies of the deceased children, aged 10 and 14, were handed over to their father for burial, and they were laid to rest at the Kololo Muslim Cemetery. Now, police was able to obtain a statement from the father, who confirmed a history of domestic violence. The prime suspect in this case, who is the mother of the children, is responding positively to treatment, and she will be arraigned before the courts of law to answer for charges.
That is after she stabilizes.
The police file lists murder, attempted murder and arson among the offences under investigation. On the other hand, Chira Road police are investigating the murder of Namuwulya Jovia, aged 22, a waitress and a resident of Bukoto. Jovia was killed on 20th August 2026 at her rental, where she had spent 7 months.
After about 3 months, Jovia received a female visitor identified as Turinda Mukama Rose, who later began staying with her in the same room. On the 20th of August 2026, the caretaker of the houses received a call from relatives of the deceased inquiring about Jovia, as she was reportedly not responding to their calls.
Police say upon reaching the rental room, it was locked. The caretaker and the sister to Jovia saw blood stain in the room through the window.
They subsequently accessed the room and found Jovia lying in a pool of blood. However, her friend Turinda Mukama Rose was nowhere to be found and is currently being sought in connection with the incident.
While the police is hunting for Rose to aid the ongoing investigation regarding the murder of Jovia, we have obtained information which is yet unverified that Rose is currently out of the country. As and when we get any information, we shall keep you posted via our UBC platforms and also our social media handles.
Ministry of Education and Sports has launched a national campaign against secondary school dropouts aimed at keeping young people in school and protecting them from crime and other risky activities. The campaign brings together students, educators and other stakeholders to address factors driving learners out of school, with criminality among the concerns that are highlighted.
Students from different schools have gathered at Chitebi Secondary School for the launch of the national campaign against secondary school dropouts. The campaign is intended to address the growing challenges of young people leaving school prematurely, which stakeholders say exposes them to crime, substance abuse, and other activities that could jeopardize their future.
And I would like to officially open the national campaign against secondary school dropouts.
When students or youth leave school or drop out of schools, they tend to join the communities, and then in turn, they become social evils.
And I'm happy that throughout this week, we're going to have a number of sessions.
The students shared their experiences and explained why they believe the campaign is important in helping young people to remain in school and avoid criminal activities.
Now, it has been a trend in schools that if someone does a crime, he or she is taken to the disciplinary committee where he's chased away from the school. But that's not a solution. They're going to teach us very many things, the financial literacy, about the violence, the indiscipline. So we are very, very much as students interested.
For example, the commissioner has encouraged us to share with our teachers, to share with our parents, not only to share with our peers, because at some point our peers may ill-advise us and then we end into criminality.
Ajika Mregea Muhammad, the team leader at Chitebi Secondary School, says about 150 students aged between 13 and 24 from different schools have participated in the campaign.
To do this, by bringing different experts, as clearly mentioned, to address the learners or the youth on different and cross-cutting issues or vices, as earlier mentioned.
He highlighted guidance, counseling, and other areas that need greater attention to help young people overcome challenges that could lead them out of school.
At the issue of the mental illness and stigma, which is at a high level as of now, especially arising from the drug abuse and alcoholism.
Lubego Abdallah, Commissioner at Judicial Service Commission, emphasized the importance of the campaign, particularly in equipping younger people with knowledge about the consequences of criminal behavior and the importance of making responsible choices.
We go up to a senior at 7 level, a senior 4 level, a senior 6 level. We are creating a very big problem for the nation in Uganda. And those of us who don't intend to run away from Uganda and go anywhere, we are sitting on a time bomb. What do they do as a result? They go to steal.
After officially declaring the campaign open, Harriet urged the students to pay attention during the lectures and carefully choose their role models, warning them against being influenced by people whose lifestyles could negatively affect their future.
I know many of us want to look at, I don't want to be, but there's some role models who have question marks on, even if they made it, but look at yourself. Why am I in school?
Jamil Sekadja compiled the story for UBC News.
The Local Government Finance Commission is calling for stronger measures to curb the continued degradation of Uganda's forests and wetlands, warning that the destruction of natural resources threatens the country's environmental sustainability.
The Local Government Finance Commission says increasing pressure on forests and wetlands is being driven partly by human activities, calling for stronger intervention to protect these ecosystems.
Population of those settlements increase, so will the pressure on the forest increase. Find out how much. This is money we can ask the government to make available, compensate those people, they go away and leave the forest as one block area.
Should issue guidelines on wetland management. Yes, we appreciate that gazette that has listed all the wetlands, but we need to be guided on how to manage these wetlands.
The Commission is also calling for tighter oversight of water quality testing laboratories, including proper regulation and certification of private sector actors.
And collect the samples, because issues of water quality are issues of life. You cannot have people drinking poisoned water. So we also allow districts and other people that have an urgent need for water testing. We support them.
Piece of water, as we have already discussed, after these negotiations, we shall come up, or we shall follow up with some structured follow-up timelines to ensure that we deliver.
The enforcement, restoration and eco-friendly alternative strategies are critical for reversing environmental degradation and protecting Uganda's natural resources for future generations.
And we're asking ourselves, if NEMA is really serious and honest and transparent in enforcing, why are they not touching those big people? Because I call them big people because the development of those projects, you have to be a billionaire to put those projects on site. So we want NEMA to enforce, but enforce, genuinely enforce with the mind that everybody is equal under the law.
I think the issue is the capacity, our capacity to do this enforcement. As we discussed in Objective 1, that we don't have enough capacity to do enforcement everywhere in all districts. And therefore, sometimes when you find that we have not evicted people in a certain wetland, it's not that that is selective, but maybe sometimes the capacity to reach there.
The Commission also wants the Ministry of Water and Environment to support communities living around wetlands with alternative livelihood and income generating activities. Robert Katamba for UBC News.
Ministry of Foreign Affairs has pledged support towards the 2026 Rotary Cancer Run, with Uganda's diplomatic missions abroad expected to participate in the campaign.
Welcome the cancer cheering team for such an important initiative. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has always been a strategic partner of the cancer run, knowing the challenges cancer poses to members of our society. Starting within the ministry, I think each and everyone here either has a relative besides the staff members who have lost over cancer. So when such a cause comes up, we're always at hand to be part of it. Some of us are Rotarians, some of us are ardent supporters of health causes, but most important, we feel that the ministry, through its contacts, networks, has an important duty to make a contribution towards raising awareness, both home and abroad, and also to raise resources much needed for this important cause. As I mentioned during the launch, as a ministry, we are making a modest contribution of 10 million shillings to the cause. At the same time, our missions bought a number of kits which will be dispatched to different missions in different countries.
The call is to remind you that we shall be having our run on the 30th of August 2026, and the main run will be at the Independence Grounds in Kololo. But we're going to have decentralized runs spread across 52 major towns and cities across the country. And today we have received a very big boost from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs when the ambassador has informed us that all big cities across the world where we have a mission will be running. Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
As schools prepare for the final term of the academic year 2026, Stanbic Bank Uganda is urging parents, guardians and schools to embrace digital banking to manage back-to-school financial demands.
Mami! Wanje sabo ukamotia oina kachi ha kagulinzi tekako teka kagulinzi I want everything yes so when I pay the time this will increase my loan limit. Hey hemutieni momo madam, remove the food, put more meat, add the meat, yes. Now, these are the fruits of paying your loan is in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial *165*5# to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have juice? Yes. Juice in me.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. What we need is the power to do it our way. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lome, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. This is Africa, powered by us.
What if accessing government services became easier, faster, and closer to you? Introducing Service Uganda Centers, a new initiative designed to bring key government services closer to the people under one convenient location. Less movement from office to office, less unnecessary travel, better access to services and information. At the Service Uganda Centers, citizens will be able to access national ID services, passport processing, business registration, land and revenue services, and more, all in one convenient location. Whether you are in the city or upcountry, Service Uganda Centers are being designed with you in mind. Enjoy faster service, professional guidance, and a seamless customer experience. This is an initiative of the Government of Uganda, digitally powered by the National Information Technology Authority Uganda, NITA, under the Uganda Digital Acceleration Project Government Network. Service Uganda Centers, bringing services closer to the people.
All right, listen up. Call
Colgate is on a mission. It's kind of a big thing. Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. We never have. What we need is the power to do it our way. To move our people, our goods, our ideas across cities that breathe with our energy. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lome, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. Every swap keeps the city running. Every ride links one life to another. We're copying no one else's future. It's we who powers the cities we live in. It's we who shapes the world they'll become. This is Africa, powered by us.
Mami!
Wanje sabo.
Ugamotia. Wina kachi. Ha. Kagulinis take kagulinis. I want everything, eh?
Okay.
Yes. So, when I pay the time, this will increase my loan limit. Hey, Mutieni Momo. Madam, remove the food, put more meat, add the meat. Yes. Hey. Now, these are the fruits of paying your loan is in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial star 165*5 hash to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have juice?
Yes.
Juice in me.
Yes, we'll now take you back to that story of ours where Stanbic Bank has called on parents and other stakeholders in the education sector to take good use of the digital banking systems as they prepare for the third term of the academic year.
Tugonzezza nnyo enkola y'okusasula ebisale by'essomero kitwandiyise school fees. Teweetaaga kugenda mu banka ebiseera bino oba mu ttebe lyaffe lyonna okusasula school fees newankubadde oba oyagadde osobola okugenda naye kozesa emitimbagano gye tulina okusobola okusasula school fees ezo. Tulina ba agents baffe mu bitundu ebyenjawulo bingi nnyo basobola okufuna school fees ezo n'olema kusimba mu kitundu kyo kyonna wooli gende wa agent yonna omuwe school fees osasulire omwana wo. Tulina abalina account naffe nga n'amasomero gali waffe tulina school pay osobola okusasulira ku school pay naye ng'okozesa Stanbic FlexiPay app oba okozesa USSD oba okozesa account yo yennyini ku either internet banking oba ku app n'ebirala bingi.
Or maybe you just want to send your children to a better school and you need additional financing. The Oli in charge gives you that opportunity to take charge of how you're planning your future. And therefore, as you're building, as you're growing, this campaign gives you an opportunity to also protect what you're trying to build.
The world is going digital. And as a bank, we're also thinking about how we enable you to be digital today, but also in the future, to make life easy for you. And that is why we've enabled a number of capabilities on our digital channels to make it easy for you to do your banking as and when you require. It is available 24/7. The branches might be closed. Digital is never closed. It is available. Now you're able to manage your account as and when you require. You don't have to call that branch manager or maybe someone in a branch or maybe the voice branch. You're able to do all that on the digital channels.
So we've thought about our customers during this season, and we've come up with an attractive interest rate, which I believe is the best in the market, of 17% per annum. What that means is that our customers can be able to afford our loans pay in a flexible repayment period, but also be able to take on higher loan amounts of up to 250 million for self-employed and 350 million for salaried, absolutely unsecured, with no need for collateral.
Uganda, are you ready to take your business to the world? This September, the Gateway to International Markets opens in Istanbul, Turkey. From the 15th to the 19th of September 2026, join AFEX 2026 Africa Business Forum and Expo, bringing together Africa and global markets in one dynamic business platform. Meet international buyers, investors, manufacturers, distributors, traders, and business leaders alongside the Global Franchise and Distributorship Expo. Whether you are in textiles, agro-processing, tourism, logistics, ICT, manufacturing, education, mining, FMCG, healthcare, construction, or automotives, AFEX 2026 gives you the opportunity to connect, exhibit, invest, and expand. Ugandan exhibitors and business visitors, this is your opportunity to showcase your products, discover new markets, build international partnerships, and take your business beyond borders. And when you're ready to make the journey, travel with Gotavet Tours and Travel, your trusted travel partner for AFEX 2026. Register today through a call or WhatsApp on 0782 556 078 or 0701 556 078. Visit Gotavet Tours and Travel at Plot 3 Parliament Avenue, Rajak Chambers, Wing A, First Floor, Suite F1, 026. AFEX 2026 Istanbul, where Africa meets the world.
All right, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
The Uganda People's Defense Forces invites you to the second edition of the UPDF-CDF Inter-Forces Drill Competition. Join us on Tuesday, 25th August 2026 at the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds for an electrifying showcase of precision drill, synchronized formations, discipline, and military excellence. Under the theme Precision, Discipline, and Cohesion, Pillars of National Resilience and Transformation. Witness UPDF formations battle for the coveted Inter-Forces Drill Championship. Who will take the crown? Will it be the Land Forces, Air Force, Special Forces Command, Field Artillery, Motorized Infantry, Marines Brigade, Directorate of Women Affairs, Military Police, or one of the 1st to 5th Divisions? The event will be presided over by the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. For more information, call 0392 947 455.
In the world of sport, the Minister for Defense, that is Chiriowa Chiwanuka, has applauded the UPDF, police and prisons for teamwork and working together. This was at Laibi College at the opening of the 18th Inter-Forces Games.
The 18th edition of the Inter-Forces Games kicked off with a march from Peche to Laibi College, with the UPDF band leading the parade. Later, senior officers, ministers, and dignitaries gathered at Laibi College grounds to witness the official opening of the Inter-Forces Games in Gulu City. The Inter-Forces Games bring together officers and personnel from different security agencies to compete in shooting range, sports, and foster inter-force cooperation. Commanders say the games are not just about competition, but strengthening the bond, discipline, and teamwork that is critical for joint operations.
This year we gather here under the theme, Building Synergy Through Sports. These games provide a vital platform to promote physical fitness, discipline, teamwork, leadership, and institutional pride among our personnel. For security and uniformed forces, physical fitness is not just a game requirement. It is an essential part of operational readiness and professional effectiveness.
There is no more tear gas. Even the budget for tear gas has reduced. Now that money is channeled somewhere to build a nation. You can see. That's why UPDF is doing construction. So when you do well in excel in voting as a country, our work becomes simple. As the UPDF, as the security forces, our work becomes simplified. Now we focus on the primary role.
The Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs officially opened the 18th Inter-Force Games and Shooting Championship at Laibi College in Gulu City.
Like everyone has said, this goes beyond just sport. This reflects unity, discipline, teamwork, and professionalism. That is important for our security forces. This is about how all our security forces work together to further a common purpose. And that is what we are doing in these events. I wish to declare the 18th edition of the Inter-Forces Games and Shooting Competition 2026 open.
Hosted by the 4th Infantry Division Gulu City, the competition is expected to run for 2 weeks. In the official opening football match, UPDF drew 1-1 with Uganda Wildlife Authority. Haruna Mtesasira reporting for UBS News in Gulu City.
We thank you so much for watching. That is all we had for you tonight. My name is Micheal Jordan Lukomwa. Enjoy the night. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding